This is another episode of Truth 7. I'm Devorjae, and on this episode I'm going to do basically talk about the Zodiac, the evolution of the Zodiac signs and the human body, human psyche. All 12 energies of the signs of the Zodiac dwell in everyone. You can find this out and find your energy placements and how you treat different aspects of life by getting your natal chart or your birth chart. And I guess a quick short summary of what a natal chart and birth chart is. It's pretty much the calculations of when you pretty much manifested into this realm, when you pop through the birth canal, the time, place, and date of when you came into this realm, pretty much. And with your natal chart, it can connect to so much energies. It can get very detailed. As I said, you can have a sign for each placement in each planet, and each planet represents an aspect of life and just your mannerisms and how you treat it and how you move through that energy and fill out things. And there's different aspects of life, obviously. A lot of people think that there's just one sign, which is a sun sign. And the sun sign is only how you pretty much reflect and shine amongst other people in the crowd and somewhat what you are aspiring to be. It's just not you in a whole. There's so many different aspects that go into it, but I'm just going to break down the Zodiac psychology and how it upbuilds the personality of pretty much a person, a human. So yeah, not to keep the video too long, because like I said, in these new videos, I have like a 20-minute limit. But yeah. So first off, within the human psyche and develop. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me give like a rundown also for people who may not even believe in the Zodiac or not. Let me just give you a little tidbit or give you some information on why it could be, why it's believable and why it's true. In no matter shape or form you look at it, you just have to realize that the Zodiac was only created as a calculation of what's going on out of the body. And what's out of the body makes up what's inside the body. So, for instance, the best description I can give into the truth behind the Zodiac is, like I said, all elements were used: fire, earth, wind, water. It was the outer environment that could define, personalities through trial and error. Literally, there was a group. You can have a group of people, and you can have many people being born, and you can literally trace and do a trial and error based on the persona and traits and characteristics of these people born in these certain time and seasons. And keep in mind, we developed the concept of time. Like, for instance, all it took was an earth of a rock cut into a circle, one of the first creative shapes, pretty much, and then laying a triangle, which gives direction within alchemy and creation, laying that directly in the middle of it, and then due to the sun shining and casting a shadow, we were able to create a time lapse and a seasonal lapse. Like, so using from pure elements and pure conscious knowledge, we were able to create a pretty much something to variate or pentalize things and create points in time, what we made. So that's just a little short tidbit to go into like the creation of even the Zodiac and the trial and error and the measurements of how it came to be. That's just a hint of it. That's just a little speck of it. Something I can give with more of a rational mind of thinking, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So now that I got that out the way, let's start with Aries being the first sign. Aries is the ram. It represents spirit. The first thing is spirit. Aries is all about self. It's all about pure thought, pure instinct, just going, just use full-fledged energy, fire, selfishness, self, just starting first with self. And Aries is all about, being the beginning, being number one, pioneering. Also being that baby, being that child, being the start of something. So that's one, to start with the evolution of the human psyche. You start with yourself first, obviously, and Aries are known and all obviously known for being headstrong and starting at the top with them. It's only them. It's only us. I'm an Aries sun, so I get it. I pretty much naturally exude that. So yeah, that's the beginning of the human psyche. Aries, self, mind, spirit. Second is Taurus. We move out of self. We see what makes the self comfortable, what feels good to the self, what pleasures the self, what what um what the self exudes in, what the self is comfortable in, what the self relaxes in, what the self can gain for itself. Taurus is all about the things. Taurus is all about comfort. Taurus is all about pleasure. Taurus is all about relaxation. Taurus is all about uh, um, royalty and relaxing in its royalties and what it's gained. So that's Taurus being the second sign, going from self to what the self can gain and what the self wants. That's the second step of the human psyche development. Third, you have excuse me. Third, you have Gemini. Uh, Gemini now has to. The human psyche now has to realize that there is something out of itself. There's another being just like it. There's another polarity. There's another side to him. It has to separate its wants and needs, its likes and dislikes. It has to observe its feminine and masculine. It has to observe that there's something opposite out of it. So once that self has came into self and understands self, self has to gain things for itself and touch things out of itself and gain things for itself. Then has to realize others have to do the same thing. It's multiples of itself, which goes into the Gemini energy and Gemini polarity, communication, knowledge, understanding, just rapport, um, technology. Well, not necessarily technology, but just communications. Just the fact that it's getting to know things out of its body. Gemini. Uh, that's why it's characterized by multiple split personalities. It's characterized by fast, witty mind, talking a lot. That's just the Gemini energy. It's an air sign. We start with the Aries being fire, Taurus being earth, and Gemini being air. So then we're going to go into once we figure out that there are things outside of themselves, getting past the third level of Gemini, we go into the fourth sign, which is Cancer. The human psychology and the human itself must understand that once he has understood himself and understood that there are outers outside himself, he understands that he must create for himself and protect himself, and he must nurture himself and also learn to nurture the others out. So Cancer, we become crab-like. We find our own home. We want to nurture ourselves, and we also want to nurture others. This is the Cancer energy. Cancer is also getting to a cardinal sign, because the realizing that you need to nurture yourself and nurture others is very much of a cardinal thing, a leadership sign, with Cancer being a cardinal water sign, Aries being the cardinal fire sign, Taurus being the fixed earth sign. So I'm going to also attach those notes in the three connotations to the personalities. That's getting a little detailed, but yeah. So now we got hit to the fourth stage, which is Cancer, nurturing, taking care of, protecting, creating an environment. So then after Cancer, we get to the fifth sign of the zodiac, which is we start with fire, earth, water, air. Oh, now we start over with fire. So once we come out of Cancer, you get into Leo. Now, basically, once Cancer, within the fourth stage, Cancer, you have to nurture your home. You have to nurture outside. We get to the fifth stage, which is Leo. Leo, starting over being a fixed fire sign, we now have to gain respect and figure out how to work what we have gained, and we have to spread and shed our light about who we are and why we have what we have, and figure out who outside of our body to trust, to gain loyalty, to possibly build our own firms in our own community. Leo is all about, shining, boasting, um, loyalty, friendship, but it's also because it's of the fire element. It's very, me, all eyes on me, and that gets into that fifth level of the human psyche and the human development, because now we have to show and prove what we got, what we have, and also, try to carry and go by our way and what we know. That's in Leo's very fixed in that and what they do and what they want. So, vexation. So after we get out of Leo, we get to the sixth element and sixth wave, which is Virgo. Virgo. Now, once we show what we personally have and our personal energy and what we can gain, now we have to get into the efficiency of it. How do we do it? The form that we give to it, the agenda, the linguistics, the step-by-step approach. We have to get a technique to what we do. It just can't be all out anywhere like on the Aries and Leo energy that fall before and fire and shoot first, ask questions later. Now we have to start putting thought and alignment with what we do. And that's what Virgo is about. Virgo is all about talent. It's all about structure, ways of doing things, having a strict agenda, being on point, having just having something to do and doing it to the purest, the finest of ways, and new ideas. Virgo does represent the virgin, represents the lady, and just represents, just elegancy. Virgo falls within Venus. So just how do you put your things into form? And that's why Virgo is also, being the, I think, sixth sign is getting to the seventh sign of being just within the mysticality and the more evanescence of the human psyche, of the more beauty of it, of life. We're getting to the beauty of life once we've gone from the raw, raunchy, core of life. And side note, even the Zodiac system, the Zodiac psyche, you can see that they have colors that match up with them. Pretty much the frequency scale. As we build up through these psyches, there's colors matched with them. Well, I could touch on that in another video, but that's something I want to throw in about how you can find the truth in the energies of the Zodiac and how they fit within the streams of life. So, back on track. After the sixth sign of Virgo developing in the human psyche, we get to Libra. Once we found form, now we have to pretty much find balance within everything. It's like, okay, we're right in the middle now. We're like, okay, we're right in the middle. I need to balance things for myself, but I need to balance things for the outer world that I'm trying to create for myself and put into form. I realize that there are other beings outside of my body. We need to have, and we've built organizations and teams, but we now need to have balance. We need to have stipulations. We need to do what's best for ourselves, but we need to also find out what's best for others that are outside ourselves. We need to be nice. We need to be friendly. We need to liberate others if they feel that they are disadvantaged or handicapped. We need to find the beauty in everything and make sure everything is beautiful. That's why Libra is all about attraction. Libra is all about how you attract and be in friendships and connections, which is also an air sign, and Libra being the cardinal air sign, because Libra is the first to say, hey guys, we need to come at an agreement. We need to make sure everyone is okay. We need to be liberated. We need to make sure everyone knows things. We need to read. We need to study. We need to, write these books and have everything someone can go to read and be like, okay, this is what needs to be done. And library, Libra, this is just setting the standards and the balance within the psyche, Libra. So once we pass from Libra, we get to Scorpio. And Scorpio is all about pretty much the secrets that can dwell behind everything. The darkness. Once we're on the light side. Once you get past Libra, everything else is the light. Now we got to get more in the darker polarities, the more dense polarities, because we're coming more into the world. So Scorpio is all about, well, there's been a trail behind what's gotten to now. There's some secrets behind it. There's some stuff we need to unlock. That's why Scorpio is all about what's undercover and what's of the evanescence. And Scorpio is hard to read because Scorpio tries to figure out everything, because Scorpio knows what it took to get to what it is, and knows the depth of the human psyche, and knows that it had to develop to even the sexual counterpart, which is a Virgo, and knows that the raw tenacity of the primal being from Aries, its brother. So Scorpio, being a fixed water sign, knows that it has to be hard shelled and stay in its ways, but be a little bit under the emotion, understand the emotions of the world, but also understand the hard, cold facts about the world. And Scorpios are usually detectives. They have to fall within Libra and be within the system and figure out, be that backbone and the backbone and that back barrier, and have that offensive defensive quality, because it's going to have to be there to point out what is false, but also point out what is right and righteous. So that goes to Scorpio energy, figuring out what's best for the world. And so once we lead out Scorpio, after Scorpios, there we go, Scorpio, we get into, dang, what's the sign after Scorpio? Freaking, shit, I gotta check my phone. Cancer. Shit, I forgot, I went on spin. Just give me all this information. Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Gemini. Yeah. Virgo. Scorpio. Okay. Oh yeah. Then after Scorpio, we get into Sagittarius, which is the star of another fire sign, which is a mutable fire sign. So once we find out that from Scorpio that, you know, there's secrets and we have to investigate, we have to separate truth from falsality, we get into Sagittarius, which is all about spreading this knowledge and getting it out to everyone, and also letting it be known that there are two sides to the story. You know, there is a conscious, godlike understanding of where we're at, but there's also still the primal being that we still had to develop to get to, which is why it's the half human, half horse, and which why there are philosophies that we must build now, that behind these stories there's still a creative energy and there's still a knowledge within everything. So Sagittarius, being the fixed fire sign, forces that issue, but also, you know, is able to wisdomatically get that across and spread that knowledge of that gaining of what this world has come to be with the humans and with the animals that have developed, or what we've developed. So, and then out of Sagittarius, we get into Capricorn. And then Capricorn pretty much being being a cardinal earth sign, but also semi-mutable, which I keep on wanting to explain to the details, but I don't want to go off too much to get from the central summary what we're supposed to be talking about. Capricorn, once all those other psyches are figured out, Capricorn is the structure to it now. Capricorn is the limitations. Capricorn sets its limits, but says, hey, you got to get past these. Capricorn is very hard ass, but Capricorn wants to work hard for what it gains. And got 19 minutes. So once we get out of Capricorn, Capricorn goes into Aquarius, the technology and the ideas that we have to use now to upbuild from what we have started. And that's what the Aquarian energy is. We're in the age of Aquarius, in which we bring in all this information, and we're the water bearers. We're pouring out the water into something else to start a whole new league of information. Water carries information, and another way that the spirit and light carries information, and starting with Aries and fire and flame. So once we Capricorn has set its boundaries on the world and has set up businesses and whatnot that can help corporate through the world, Remember, this is Saturn and Satan, pretty much the worldly matters and structure, but also having the beings in it moving through the infrastructure. So we get out of Aquarius, which is the ideas, and then we get from Aquarius and we get into Pisces, which is the last sign. And we have Pisces sitting there, pretty much everything in one. Just when it's all said and done, it's the two fishes swimming in a circle, everlasting going. Fishes don't sleep. Fishes. Goes into just what the Piscean energy is, being whatever you want it to be. Pisces can be all those signs. Pisces is also represented, by Yahweh or Jesus, whatever name you want to go by. It's a pond of fishes. It just represents that ever-going circle of beings just going. Destruction, fall, birth, all that. And that's the Piscean energy. And then there's always been 13 signs, just to hit on that. That 13 sign has always been around. People have to understand within this zodiac chart, this is the Western zodiac chart I just gave out. There's also an Eastern chart. There's a zodiac system. There's 3 or 4 zodiac systems, but they still correlate only due to the destination that people sit within the plane, in the time space, and that the definitions, but they all still coordinate with each other. So understand that when it comes to these personalities and energies. But yeah, man, I think I gave you guys the evolution of the human psyche. So I hope you guys understand how all these signs develop within the human body. My time's about to run out. I hope you guys are enjoying more videos. I have a whole lot more coming. Thanks for coming to my channel. Honestly, love and respect. Thanks for coming for the knowledge and truth. This is Devorjae, True 7. I'm out.